As one of the most influential movies of all time, 2001: A Space Odyssey involves editing to communicate the intelligence of HAL and create suspense about the rise of technology. Looking at movies says this about Kuleshov effect. Kuleshov conducted an experiment in which he juxtaposed a shot of an actor wearing a neutral expression with a number of other shots, and then screened them in sequence for a test audience. When viewers saw that the man paired with a shot of bowl of soup, they not only assumed that he was looking at the soup, but also interpreted his expression as one of hunger. When shown the same shot of the expressionless actor, but juxtaposed instead with the image of a girl in a coffin, viewers assumed a relationship between the character and the corpse and felt the actor was expressing a grief or remorse. Another juxtaposition, this time with an attractive woman reclined on a couch, caused viewers to read his expression as lustful. With this simple experience, Kuleshov demonstrated a creative capacity of film that editors still use, the juxtaposition of images to create a new meaning not present in any single shot by itself. Through the Kuleshov effect, 2001: A Space Odyssey communicates an understanding to the audience that HAL, the AI aboard the spaceship, can read lips and understand what the two astronauts are discussing aboard the escape pod, and is upset by it. Another example of this effect being used is this clip from the movie A Conversation with Hal.
Good evening, Dave.
How you doing, Hal?
Everything's running smoothly. And you?
Oh, not too bad.
Have you been doing some more work?
A few sketches.
May I see them?
Sure.
That's a very nice rendering, Dave. I think you've improved a great deal. Can you hold it a bit closer?
Sure.
That's Dr. Hunter, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
By the way, do you mind if I ask you a personal question?
No, not at all.
Well, forgive me for being so inquisitive. But during the past few weeks, I've wondered whether you might be having some second thoughts about the mission.
How do you mean?
Well, it's rather difficult to define. Perhaps I'm just projecting my own concern about it. I know I've never completely freed myself of the suspicion that there are some extremely odd things about this mission. I'm sure you'll agree there's some truth in what I say.
Well, I don't know. That's a rather difficult question to answer.
You don't mind talking about it, do you, Dave?
No, not at all.
Well, certainly no one could have been unaware of the very strange stories floating around before we left. Rumors about something being dug up on the moon. I never gave these stories much credence, but particularly in view of some of the other things that have happened, I find them difficult to put out of my mind. For instance, the way all our preparations were kept under such tight security, and the melodramatic touch of putting Doctors Hunter, Kimball, and Kaminsky aboard, already in hibernation after 4 months of separate training on their own.
You're working up your crew psychology report.
Of course I am. Sorry about this. I know it's a bit silly.
By employing the wide fish lens, the audience understands that Hal is looking at Dave and trying to read his response to Hal's question. The first indication that Hal may have some darker tendencies/desires, which is followed by the scene where Hal is trying to read the two astronauts' lips and understand that the two are having some questions about Hal's performance. The amount of editing this movie takes requires a love for the craft. Stanley Kubrick, the editor of the film, once said, "I love editing. I think I like it more than any other phase of filmmaking. If I wanted to be frivolous, I might say that everything that precedes editing is merely a way of producing a film to edit." Kubrick started his filmmaking career as a cinematographer, editor, and soundman while also directing. 2001: A Space Odyssey won Kubrick 13 Academy Award nominations and is his most popular film, followed closely by The Shining, which employs a similar dedication to editing and difficult shots like the scene where Danny rides down the hallway on his tricycle. Both movies have impacted social culture and have influenced the way other directors shoot and edit movies.